Hi, Poema. I have your quiz here to go over quickly with you. So the first question was Lorena calculated the slope of the linear function that's represented by the table of values as shown. And the question down here is, what did she do wrong? So when we look at her calculations, remember that when you're calculating the slope of a linear function, you can use any 2 points you want to. And it looks like she chose this -263 and -451. So she's using x1, y1, x2, y2. So 63 minus 51, that's correct. -2 minus -4. We have to be careful when we're working with negatives. The formula is a subtraction sign. 63 minus 51 is 12, but -2 minus -4. There is the error. -2, when you subtract a negative, you're actually adding a positive. Think about it like this. You're taking negatives away. So if I'm taking negatives away, I'm actually getting more positive. So -2 plus 4, this should be +2, and 12 over 2 is 6. So the slope should have been 6. She did not use the wrong formula. She didn't use the wrong points. You can use any 2 points you want. She made a mistake when she subtracted x1 from x2. There we go. She messed up subtracting a negative. Question 4, a line passes through that point and has a slope of 1/2. What is the other point that the line might pass through from this list? So you're really just calculating slope 4 different times till you find the one that gives you 1/2. So I'll do one of them. I'll do the one you selected that didn't work, and then we'll do the one that is the right answer so you can see it both ways. So if this is my x1, y1, I'll use the point you picked as x2, y2. So that's 13 minus 5 on top and -9 minus -7 on the bottom. 13 minus 5 is 8. I add the opposite when I'm subtracting a negative. So -9 plus 7 is -2. 8 over -2 is -4, and that is not 1/2. So that one didn't work. Let's try the other one. If this is x2, y2 now, so it's going to be 13 minus 5 on top and 9 minus -7 on the bottom. Again, we're adding a positive. When we subtract a negative, you're actually adding positives back to it. So that's 8 over 16, and that reduces to 1/2. So it should have been this 9, 13 ordered pair. And really on these, you just have to keep doing the slope formula. Question 7 asks, which graph has a slope of 2/3? So first, that is a positive slope. So you can automatically rule out this graph here, and you can automatically rule out this graph here. Now when we look at slope, I'm going to do the one you picked and the right one. When we look at slope, it's the y over the x, or the rise over the run. So you're just moving along this line. If you find some different points that go through those grid corners, so I go up 3 over 2, up 3 over 2, up 3 over 2. I'm rising 3 and I'm running 2. The slope for that is 3/2. Now if I go back down to the one that is correct, again, I'm picking some of these points on the line so I can figure out how to get there. This is up 2 over 3, up 2, I'm just counting, over 3, up 2 over 3. Give me like 2 more minutes. So that one is 2/3. That one's the right answer. What is the slope of the line represented by the points of the table? Again, you're picking any 2 points. I always like to pick the 0 point because I think it's easy. I'm going to pick one, -0.2, because it at least has a +1. So I'm doing -0.2 minus -0.25. That's my y2 minus my y1. Then I'm going to do x2 minus my x1. So I'm going to add a positive when I'm subtracting a negative. -0.2 plus 0.25 is 0.05. And then I divide that by 1, so I just get 0.05. So it should have been positive 0.05. And then the last question that you missed says the two sides of a four-sided figure have negative slopes. That means we're looking for something that has negative slopes. I don't know what kind of shape it might be. It doesn't say anything about positive, but that would be a negative slope and that would be a negative slope. If I had like a rhombus, something like this, okay, these are positive slopes, so that wouldn't want to look like that. And I would just take a grid and just graph these points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, I think is the farthest I have to go. So if I go over 1, up 4, over 2, up 1, over 5, up 1, over 4, up 4, so then I end up with a shape that looks like this, two horizontal lines that have 0 slope and two lines that have negative slope. So that's really just graphing. That's what I would do there, so you can visually see where your negative sloped lines are. You do have more attempts, 2 more attempts, so let me know if you have any other questions.